Thank you very much for having us. We're from Amsterdam, I'm sorry for that, but we're thinking when we're here in this office, we're thinking about moving to Rotterdam. It just looks beautiful here. When Daniel asked us to come and speak here and he told us the subject of language, first thing I thought about was this painting. Not that I think about paintings a lot, but this one I did. You can see this painting not very far from here. It's in Boijmans, in Velden. It's the Tower of Babel, you see, and it's a story a long, long time ago, in a place far, far away from here. But it's people tried to build a tower that was going to reach heaven, and God thought it was not a very good idea because he wanted to stay alone in heaven. I think he wanted to have other people there, so he invented language and different languages. So people couldn't talk to each other anymore and they couldn't finish the tower. That I think was the story. So language is an interesting thing that sort of gives us a way of talking to each other, but it also creates borders. And we're now, I think this is a few thousand years ago when it happened, but we're a little bit farther now. And we created sort of our own, we're trying to create our own Babel tower, and it's called the internet. So we are now all connected. And we have the idea that we can all talk to each other because we've got this great thing. But in the end, even the internet is not connecting us all. Because if you look, for example, at the website you visit yourselves or the people you talk to, a lot of them are still probably in English or in Dutch, or maybe if you speak Spanish. But there's a lot of languages you don't really ever interact with. If you look at the internet, if there's 27% is in English, but a lot of it is in Chinese. We tried yesterday to go to visit the Chinese website. It's kind of difficult to find the Chinese website, but there's billions of them. But if you, we typed in Chinese website and we got China. We get China.com, which is a Chinese website, but it's not really Chinese. So we're all connected, but in some sense we're not. So we don't really talk to each other. And even if you look, for example, at Facebook, it's called social media, but Facebook encourages you to, most of the time, get friends with people that are pretty close to you. So they say you've got 50 friends in common, maybe you should become friends with Harry. But they never say, Hassan and you don't have anything in common, maybe you should get connected, which is much more interesting, we think. So, so the question is, do we really talk to each other and do we really connect? And on the other hand, we talk a lot about each other. If you look at, because this is what these newspapers or people, but other news and media as well, they send us the information about people that we normally would never meet. And that's the sort of image we get from people. So we get the idea, and we talk about them, we talk about people, not with people. And these sort of two things, Marieke and I, like Daniel said, I have my own agency, Marieke is a photographer, but once a year we try to create a project of ourselves. No assignment behind it, we can do whatever we want. And what we try to do is if the language is a subject, we try to skip language sometimes and give people the opportunity to speak with each other instead of about each other. And we want to show you today two projects that we made, sort of that one started and the next one came out of it, that did exactly that. And they're not even that big project, but they have pretty big impact. So it's just interesting to see. The first one was in Lebanon.
Yeah, the first project we like to show you, we have made it in Lebanon, and there we focused on the Facebook thing, that you only see people that you already know, but we would like to connect people who don't know each other. So on a regular Tuesday afternoon, we just typed in on our Facebook page like, well, we are going to Lebanon, we're going to visit a lot of Syrian refugees. What do you like to know from the Syrian refugees? So people who saw the timeline were just, I just type, what did your life look like 5 years ago? Or who do you miss the most? Or do you have anything left from 5 years ago? Do you have any things? And so,
who's your favorite football player?
Who's your favorite football player? All kind of different things. And so with that questions, we went to Lebanon and we met a lot of people. We met Iman with her 7 grandchildren. You can read all the stories on our Facebook, on our website. And we met Wassim and Chabi. This is just a really small collection. We met Bara. And after the interviews, we always said like, okay, this is a question from Sandra Govers. She likes to know, how did your life look like 5 years ago? Please answer in the camera. Hi, Sandra, and then give your answer in 30 seconds. And the Syrians were very talented in it because they did it exactly in 30 seconds. And then 3 weeks later, when we were back home, we just posted that answer on the timeline of the questionnaire without any warning before. So it was just like, hi Sandra, your answer has been, your question has been answered by Karima, and then you clicked on play, and then you got the answer. And we made a short trailer from that project, and we like to show you.
مرحبا لي، أنا إيمان كنو.
هاي سيدني، أنا راما سليمان من سوريا الحسكة.
مرحبا جاكلين، أنا مصطفى محمد من محافظة حماه.
مرحبا يوهان، كيفك يوهان؟ أنا من عائلة كتير، اسمي يوهان، كتير ضيعت بالأهلي.
أنا فخور إنه تحقق حلمي وصرت أمشي.
بدي أطبخ سميد.
وأنا هون اللي بدرس الأولاد، أنا عم علمهم مشان آخذ حسنات، واللي بعرفه من الصف الأول أنا عم علمهم إياه.
بالنسبة للمساعد يعني هلا نحن بحاجة لمساعدة طبية أكثر شيء يعني كموضوع إنساني وطبي يعني.
والله لا طالعت إلا بلبسي طلعت لهون يعني جيتوا.
اشتقنا لبيتنا، اشتقنا لكنيستنا.
وأنا صار يمكن شي 4 سنين لسه ما شفت أخي.
اشتقت للشمس بالسورية.
أتمنى أن نرجع على سوريا ومشتاقين على البلد كتير.
أمسي.
That were his only words of English. So people really, it was a very big surprise for people to get this on their timeline back after 3 weeks. And one of the persons that we met in Lebanon was Faisal, and Faisal was quite a fashionable guy. He was working in a restaurant in Beirut. And when we were back home after 2 months, we were still in contact because everybody is also on Facebook, so it's not very difficult to follow each other. And then he WhatsApped me and said, "Do you know where I am?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm on Kos, the Greek island." And then I knew that he was the one who was on the boat. So the boat refugees coming from Turkey to Greece he became the personal story about it. And he made us witness from his journey because he sent us films like this on the boat.
شكرا علي أنطاكيا شكرا تعبناك معنا يعني.
And this was around, let's say, May 2015. And then Philip and I, we started to think about a new project. And the story of Faisal became an inspiration for our next project. And here you see him in Hungary. And so we
tried to get to the forest and he was arrested and that kind of stuff. But the interesting thing was, so we saw that he sort of this whole big political thing got a face, and on the other hand, the project that we've done in Lebanon was actually a pretty small project. It was actually sort of a holiday that got out of hand and sort of became a big project for us, but it got a lot of attention. I mean, the New York Times wrote an article about it, and it was everywhere on the internet. And for us it was a small thing, but we did find out, okay, so this really simple thing of connecting people that normally don't talk to each other has a really big impact. And can we do maybe more with that idea? So then Marieke started researching, and we found out that the routes changed from in Europe. From in the beginning, everybody went to Italy, but it was from Libya, but it was pretty dangerous. And now everybody started going to Lesbos. And this is Lesbos. This is what we hear in the news all the time. It's really close to Turkey. I don't know what's the deal with Greece, because I think it's Turkey. It's really close. Yeah, but so people started traveling here, and so we thought, okay, let's go to Lesbos and let's do something similar that we've done in Lebanon as well. But we didn't want to do exactly the same. We wanted to create something new and maybe evolve the idea that we had before. The interesting thing on Lesbos is that there's two groups of people coming together there. One are tourists that can take this boat for 12 euros, 18 euros from Turkey or anywhere they want to. On the other hand, these people that pay 1,200 euros per person to go on that boat.
per seat.
Yeah. But it's really interesting that those two groups come together, and it's the same sort of as on the internet. We had the idea, they do see each other, but do they ever connect? And our idea was no, and we went to Lesbos and we saw that was the truth. So you saw a lot of refugees there. Syrians walking along the road, and you saw people sitting on the beach, but there was not a really connection. So we decided to go there and to create a new project, which was a little bit bigger, so we needed a bigger team as well. That's us, and this time for language we took a translator with us, Gim, who speaks Arabic, French, Dutch and English, which is pretty helpful.
He's from Lebanon.
And this is Bob, as a sound guy, so he could record all the text. And we invited, so this is a little bit of the setup what we created, because what we did, we invited tourists and refugees to sit next to each other and to talk just about life, about anything they wanted to, what happens if you put them next to each other, and what do you want to know from each other. And we helped them a little bit as well. We created cards if so that the conversation would sort of die out a little bit, or they were a little bit nervous. Both did happen a lot of times. They had questions they could ask each other, and so we created these settings. Here's a little bit of the set, and we made a project called The Island of All Together, and it's a film, a 22-minute film. Maybe some of you have seen it. It's an internet site with photos, but I will now show you, for the people who have not seen anything yet, a trailer again of the project.
We take a selfie together, Hassan, because we're going to show the people that we love each other.
Ik kom uit het zuiden van Nederland en waar kom jij vandaan?
I am من سوريا.
You came from Turkey with the boat.
With a boat, yeah.
Do you want to explain me why you came here?
الحقيقة أنا من الناس اللي تعرضوا للموت في سوريا 3 مرات.
I'm a tourist, and in 3 days we fly back to Germany.
إن شاء الله نجتمع هناك.
What's your favourite movie? The Hobbit.
وأنت شو بتتمنى إن شاء الله Ik ga morgen in het zwembad liggen. Een beetje bruin worden en een stagiair.
Word jij ook uitgehuwelijkt of mag jij zelf je partner kiezen?
متى كانت أجمل لحظة في حياتك؟
het mooiste moment van mijn leven.
شو بكون موقفه إذا كان في له جار لازح سوري؟
Well, this film can be seen on the internet. We really chose to put everything on the internet. So normally you hold your documentary back for film festivals and everything, and we thought, no, we don't do it. We like it that everybody with a laptop, a smartphone and an internet connection can watch the movie, because we think it's very important. Because with this project, the background is that we really like to give a nuance to the news, to give an extra layer, to talk with each other instead of about each other. Facebook, again Facebook. Oh, these are the 12 couples that we that had a conversation together.
Interesting thing is that Marieke took the pictures after the conversation, and we have the idea that you see it, so they're like sort of became friends in sort of 20 minutes or half an hour of time. If you would have done this before, you would have had like people standing next to each other, like, who are you? And now they're sort of, it's really interesting what half an hour of conversation does to people.
Yeah, and all the people are still connected also. So we connected them together on Facebook, or they have their email address. Like Hassan, he wants to cook for Marcel once he has his permit to stay. Selma and Hussam became big friends. Hussam is also the first one who got his permit last week in Germany.
With the help from Selma.
Yeah, because she was translating all his papers and everything. So they're still in contact, and they invited us to come to Germany to have dinner with the four of us. Yeah, and we hope it's their wedding. They don't tell us anything about relationship or something, but sometimes we think that they are in a relationship, but we can't confirm that. So a lot of things happened also around the project, and while we were editing the film, we were in contact with everybody, and we saw one by one, we saw the people arriving in Germany. Nobody came to the Netherlands. They all went to Germany except Wissam, because they got caught in Austria, and they had to give their fingerprints there. And now they are in Austria, which of course is a safe country, but the problem is that their family is in Sweden. So they really would like to go to Sweden, but in the coming years they are in Austria. But Wissam is already going to school, and his mother wrote us that Wissam is very happy. He doesn't know the language, but he's always happy. And on Facebook we see the people like Allah, the guy from the swing. He arrived in the northern part of Germany. And well, Facebook connects also because now you also see the background and you see what kind of pictures they are posting.
So Facebook sometimes does work if you find the right connection.
And it's so good to see. This is Hussam. He made a kind of a collection of all his countries he has been. And this is Hussam now. Here he was still in the asylum seeker center, as you see in the background. This is the guy who said I was nearly killed 3 times in Syria. Mohammed with his daughter, and they arrived safely in Bremen. And a month later, we got the message that also his wife and the mother of the girl also took the same road, because they found out that it could take a long time before they were reunited again. So she took the illegal boats to Greece too. And he also sent us photos of his house. So just to people sometimes think that people are fleeing because they really like Europe and they see their chance to come to Europe, but it isn't. The most people we spoke to were very happy to live in their own country and not living in another country. but there's no future at the moment in Syria. Hassan, who was talking to Marcel, he's always very positive, and now he's in the neighborhood of Hanover in Germany. Ghanem, the older guy, on the couch in the wood. This was he was taking the ferry to the mainland of Greece, and now he is in an asylum seeker center, also in Germany, in the southern part. And as you see, the Suhaila, the other girl, and she is his granddaughter. So they were family. Suhaila is, Ghanem really misses because he's a carpenter and he really misses his carpenter. He had his own place in Damascus. Suhaila, she goes fast because she speaks German. She writes to me in German, and she's really surprised that I don't know the German language. It's like, okay, you're going fast, so. Playing on a guitar. This was the house of Suhaila, and this is the way it looked like now. So that's just what we liked to show you. Also, this project goes really fast now. Because we translated it in 8 languages, so almost everybody in the world can see it now. And a lot of websites are interviewing us, publishing it, and we really need the publishing because we need people to see the film. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, no, that's sort of what we wanted to show you. We think it's interesting, like I said, we have the means to sort of connect to each other, but it doesn't always work, and we found out now by doing this project and by connecting all these people that suddenly, for example, like Marieke showed us, like our Facebook changed because we got now all this different information. Then we don't only have to rely on the news anymore. We can also see sort of the nuanced sort of stories of the people that we met. So we think that's really enriching sort of our way that we look at the world. That these people sort of give us information that we normally wouldn't have or wouldn't get from the Telegraph or anything else.
Yeah, and we like to share it also.
Let's talk with each other instead of about each other. That's sort of our main thing.
Yeah.
That's it.